Hello, Joy Agenda listeners. A little bit of a different podcast today. We are reissuing our chat with the wonderful Vladimir McTavish, also known as Paul Sneddon. Many of you will know that we are doing this because sadly Vlad passed away earlier this week, and we wanted to remember him and all the joy that he brought to us, to the Scottish comedy community, to the worldwide comedy community and beyond. And I think it's fitting that we are celebrating his joy because not only was Vladimir McTavish a fantastic comedian, but his alter ego Paul Sneddon was one of the kindest, most supportive, loving and caring men you could ever wish to meet. So we thought a way to honour him was to reissue this podcast. It is from the archives, and so therefore it's not myself and Hannah, it is myself and Amelia Bayler who started the podcast with me way back when. So please enjoy Vladimir McTavish, Joy Agenda.
Good afternoon, morning, evening, good night. It is the Joy Agenda, the podcast all about joy with me, Jay Lafferty.
And me, Amelia Bayler. And today we have very special guest, comedian, icon, style icon, also, Vladimir McTavish in the studio.
Good afternoon.
Yay! I always do that at the beginning because sometimes I say good morning and then I realise that people could be listening to the podcast at any time. So I just went for the full gambit.
Yep.
The full
so
lot.
cool.
Afternoon, evening, good night.
Yeah. I just said afternoon because that's where it is now.
Yeah, see, that would be logical.
Well, I don't know. That very much dates it, doesn't it?
It does date it, I suppose. We're keeping it very open, but thank you very much for listening, Joysticks. And as I say, we're here with Vladimir McTavish. How are you? How's things going?
I'm good. I'm very well. Just back from holiday, which was always a nice experience.
Yes.
Well, not always, but...
Have you had some shocking
I've had some
holidays?
dreadful holidays, but... This one was good. I am.
I always think that's such a massive disappointment when you have a bad holiday.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because it's like, especially if you've been saving up for it and you've been like really looking forward to it, and then it's just rubbish.
We had a dreadful holiday. Way back. We rented a cottage in Speenbridge, and
I've been there, you know.
Yeah.
I know it's very beautiful. Remote part of Scotland.
Yeah.
Is that why it was dreadful?
No, what was dreadful? The remoteness was quite nice. What was dreadful was we effectively rented a cottage off Scotland's answer to Basil Fawlty. This guy, he had a hotel, right? He had a hotel, and in the car park of his hotel was a cottage that he rented out as a holiday let. And we got it out of... This is how long ago it was. We didn't do it online. We did it from this...
CFAX.
No, not even that. No, not even that advanced. There used to be an office in Frederick Street for a letting agency called Mackay's, who are probably still have an online presence.
Yeah.
But you used to get the actual catalogue.
A holiday catalogue. I used to love a holiday catalogue.
What should have been the giveaway was it was a drawing of the cottage.
An artist impression of your holiday.
Yeah, with no context of where it was. So it looked all right in the drawing, and actually the cottage itself looked all right, but it was in the car park of this hotel run by this really nasty guy. He wasn't... I mean, he was actually a nasty version of Basil Fawlty.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I was comparing the Glasgow... Because we did the Saturday to Saturday, which is quite a common thing, and I was comparing the Glasgow stand that weekend, so I didn't drive up there until after the show. So I left Glasgow about back of 11, something like that, half 11, and was putting my foot down, and on the road, it was on the Glencoe Road, I hit a deer.
Oh, God.
Sorry, why am I laughing
This
at that?
is the start of it. This is the start of it. I hit a deer. It jumped up because I've driven that stretch of road since, and the ditch is under the road. And I can remember this deer just jumping upwards from nowhere.
Oh my
hit
God.
my near side wing, hit the bonnet, then hit the windscreen. But, oh, God, it's the airbag inflated while the car was still moving.
Oh, God.
And I got it was trouble. Anyway, that's just a start. Eventually I got taken to the cottage on this AA relay truck. I'm trying. Oh yeah, I had a car full of shopping because my wife had gone out with our younger daughter, who was pretty young at the time, and one of her school friends, and didn't have much room in her car. So I did the big shop for the week. So this AA relay truck driver had to take all my shopping out.
No.
Then we got a phone call the next morning from a very good friend of ours to say that her dad had died and that his funeral was going to be at Morton Hall the following Friday, so the last Friday of the holiday.
Oh.
Anyway, the first night we were there, Rosie and her little friend were like kind of giggly, real kids, were like 12-year-old girls and having a real laugh. And the fucking guy who owned the hotel came round in the morning and complained about the kids laughing.
What I don't want in my hotel is the laughter of children.
He said, that's our cunt, all right? And he said, no, I can't have people laughing. That was disturbing my guests. And then our friends came to stay with... came up for a couple of nights, but they stayed in his hotel. And when they checked it, he said, and you'll be dining with us tonight. He said, oh no, we're going having dinner with our friends who are renting that cottage. And it's really pissed them off. Anyway, so by the end of the week, our elder daughter had come up as well, which apparently was more people than the cottage should have had, even though there's plenty of room. We told him there were going to be 3 people, and there was now 4 or 5 or something. But like, she was 20 at the time, and she was able to look after the younger kids while we drove down to Morton Hall, drove all the way from Speenbridge down there to go to this funeral. We're halfway there, we get a phone call from Julia, the older girl, to say they've been thrown out of the cottage.
Oh my God. What?
Been thrown out of the cottage because there was too many people there.
But there was only 3 of them there by that point.
I know, yeah. And so I thought, the guy said, what are you doing? He said, well, there's too many people in that cottage. And I said, well, yeah, but you can't just throw... I can do what I like.
Oh
and
my
so, you
God.
can't just throw them out. I mean, there's 2 young kids there. I don't care how old they are. I'm only insured for 4 people in that cottage. If that went fire and they came round and found there was 5 bodies there,
Fucking hell.
I wouldn't be insured. She said, look, you can't do it now. I'm on my way to a funeral. I don't care where you're going.
Oh my God.
What a prick.
And what,
Oh,
what TripAdvisor rating did you give him?
Oh, yeah. And we had the keys. I want you to post those keys back.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I remember posting them back.
In an inside of a dog shit.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Inside... I didn't want to make it too big, or the postage would have been too much, but just wrapped it up so much it was going to be a real fucking use.
Jesus.
Well, it was about 6 layers of sellotape on it.
Oh my goodness.
That's
But this
crazy.
holiday was a good holiday. This one that you've just
This one was
come
very
back
nice
from.
indeed, yes.
Yes. Where were you?
I was in Mallorca, in Port de Soyer, which is on the west coast of the island. Beautiful, beautiful. It used to be a very secluded place. It's now very busy, but it's good. It's a wonderful stretch, and there's just beautiful coastline, beautiful hills, a lot of really nice walks you can go on.
And it was relaxing.
It's relaxing, yes. I was.
Because you're about to come into a busy time.
I am, yeah. I am. Yeah, gearing up for the Fringe.
What's your show called this year?
My show this year is called 30 Years Still Standing Up, which I'm managing to do most of the time. Managing to do a bit falling over. In fact, fell over at the weekend. That's a different story. Yeah, 30 Years Still Standing Up. It's all about the fact that it will be 30 years since I first did a show at the Fringe.
Wow.
When
30 years at the
I
Fringe.
know it's a complete waste of a life.
This is the Joy Agenda podcast about joy.
Well, I wouldn't have been doing it for this time if it didn't bring joy to other people. Yeah, because that's the important thing, isn't it? You don't have to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's about making other people.
Yeah, you can be as miserable as you want. You could actually hate doing it. But if it brought joy to people, that's the important thing. No, I have loved doing it. And the first year, I actually won an award.
I don't think I knew that. What award did you win?
I won, right, it's a long story, but I'll try and prune out the unimportant detail. I was doing a show in a grocer's shop.
That's classic Fringe.
That is very,
Yeah.
Well, a classic 90s Fringe.
This sounds cool though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an old family business in George Street. I can't quite place what's there now. I think it's round about where Brown's is. Definitely that kind of Charlotte Square end of George Street. An old family business called T&G Willis, and they were such an old business, they still called themselves licensed grocers. It was a really old-fashioned term. You know, basically it was a posh deli that sold alcohol.
I'd heard that term before at AA.
Yeah. Oh, right, have you?
There's someone in AA that's like, I would go down to the licensed grocers and I'd be down there and I'd pretend I was buying alcohol for different people. But that was the first time. Because I remember saying to my pal from Glasgow, I was like, have you heard this term licensed grocer? He was like, what the fuck are you there
were licensed grocers around when I was a kid, but even then it was a fairly outdated term. Anyway, so this family firm, T.G. Willis, licensed grocers, they had a mezzanine floor above the shop where they had a restaurant. And the son of the business, this guy called Tom Willis, who was a bit like Callum Gilhooly from Absolutely. He was a very, very dull man, but he's a big comedy fan, and he set up this comedy club there, Lost Comedy Club, and then he had this bright spark about, because he sold Strathmore water in his shop, and at the time, the Comedy Award was sponsored by Perrier. I mean, it's still the Perrier Award. And he got this great idea. He'd have the Strathmore Water Comedy Award. And you were only eligible if you played his gig. You weren't doing solo shows. It was just line-up shows, like a comedy club.
Yeah.
And I did a week there. And then they decided on the final weekend who'd won the Strathmore Water Comedy Award. And it was a draw.
Oh.
The draw between me and Noel James, who's still out there, very wacky, off-the-wall Welsh guy, who was, I think he was in Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, I think he was in Britain's Got Talent.
I mean, now it has become very much a thing for younger comedians to do shows about neurodivergence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the case 30 years ago. We just kind of assumed most people were a bit nuts. And Noel being the prime example. He used to do things like, he once set his own hair on fire. Well, not once, it was quite a regular part of his act. Anyway, Noel he'd finished his run and he'd gone on holiday to Amsterdam, but we had this gig for the final night where they give the award out, and Noel came back for that. Oh, and I said, what? Have you come back from Amsterdam for this? He said, well, I've never won an award before.
Aww.
Anyway, so because of basically the prize was meant to be £100. The marketing manager, or whoever the guy was from Strathmore Water, turned up with 2 cheques for £50 each and 1 award.
Oh, no.
And it was this really tacky, cheap thing that you'd obviously just got off the shelf at, like, Timson's or something.
And you had to share it.
Well, he said, well, I've only got 1, but I'll send another on to the... I said, so who wants it? I said, well, Noel's come all the way back from Amsterdam. You've got to give it to him. He said, well, don't worry, I'll put one in the post to you. And he took my address. And then about 2 months later, I was doing a gig with Noel. And he said, have you had that award yet? I said, no. Oh, Well, I've been phoning him, you know. I've been phoning him up and saying, have you sent him that award? And he says he will. Then, several months after that, I happened to be doing a gig with him again. He said, have you had the reward yet? I said, no, I haven't. You know, I phoned him he said he was going to send it to you, the fucking cunt.
Did you ever get the award?
Well, then about a year later, we happened to bump into each other again. She said, you won't have had that award, have you? I said, no. He said, nah, he's left the company. And I reckon he hadn't.
I just went, don't tell that guy I've left.
I reckon he said, if anyone Welsh phones, I've left. Yeah, so I thought that was the end of it. Till February or March of 2020.
2020?
Yep.
So 27 years later?
Yeah, definitely the just pre-pandemic. I was out in Australia and Noel got in touch on Messenger and said, what's your address? I didn't think anything of it, so I just messaged him back with my address. And then about a week later, I'm still out in Australia. I'm phoning home. My wife, Christine, answered the phone. Answered the phone, was phoning her. And she said, there's a parcel come for you. It's got a return address that's somewhere in Wales. I said, I think I know who it's from. But she said, it looks very lumpy. Anyway, she opened it up and there was this like trophy inside it, which I didn't realise we weren't being filmed for this.
No.
Basically, what I am holding in my hand is a very old, bent, dented, what was originally probably very, very cheap fake trophy with a plastic base, which has obviously been found in, I don't know, charity shop, jumbo sale, possibly even clearing out the house of a dead relative. That's what it is. But on the front of it is a plaque, an engraved plaque that says, Vladimir McTavish, winner of the 1994 Strathmore Water Comedy Award. He wouldn't give up for 26 years.
I love that.
I know, wonderful.
That is so...
This is incredible.
Can I see it?
Yeah,
I
sure.
know, desperate
I
to
want
look
to
at
feel
it.
the weight of it. Oh, it is cheap.
It is very cheap. And I'm not sure, I don't know about the tech from a show yet, if I'm going to have access to video.
They've spelled your name wrong.
I just spelled my name wrong, and he's got the name of the award wrong. There's quite a lot of things wrong.
Serious.
Knowing Noel, though, he could have done that intentionally.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just nice. I feel like sometimes people can be... In comedy, people can be quite negative, about the relationships between comedians. They're fucking shite and fuck them, man. Yeah. And this is just a sign there is good. There's good people out there. That's such a nice story.
Yeah, and that I got home week before lockdown. And so for the next year, couldn't be a comedian, but I had that at the back of my mind. I was an award-winning comedian.
You're an award-winning comedian.
From 26 years ago.
Love that.
I love it. Oh, that's so joyful. But we have to ask the question as well. So what does bring you, Vladimir McTavish, joy?
A lot of things. I mean... And I'm not saying this trite, but what brought me a lot of joy was you two singing at the start of this. I thought, this is just so good. It was not what I expected.
Well, I'm glad it brought you joy. It terrified Larry Dean, our last
did it? I love it.
He put a hat over his face.
Oh, did he?
People react differently to it. You're the first person to actively enjoy it, though.
I think it's the fact that you are quite close.
Yeah.
It is because it is like a bit like the start of a kids' TV show.
That's what we're planning to get. Well, actually,
exactly.
that's where the money's at.
It's like watching a kids' TV show with your face pressed against the telly.
I mean, we've had some compliments. Vittorio Angeloni, who is a trained musician, has played the proms on multiple times. He had some nice comments about it. Most people look vaguely terrified.
We sometimes feel cringe doing it, but we push through it because it's so special. It's so, like, if we never did that, we would feel weird now. Because it helps us get in the headspace as well.
Well, I think what's strange about it is effectively we're having a conversation. I mean, and it's seldom you have a conversation where two people just spontaneously break into a choreographed song at the start.
Choreographed is very...
I'm glad you think it's... Now producer Ross is laughing because he's like, it's definitely not choreographed.
It's actually improvised, expressive dance.
There's choreographed. I mean, speaking as someone who people have attempted to choreograph in my previous life as an actor, now and again had to do bits of dancing and they just gave up.
Yeah, trying to choreograph you. Just freestyle, Vlad. Just freestyle.
Oh, no, not that. That's even worse. Me going freestyle is kind of like, just find a way to make me like stand still for some reason.
Is this like in like a specific genre of dance that the other actors were doing?
Oh God, really simple stuff like just walking sideways and clicking your fingers. You get that wrong.
No, actually I'm the same because Jay once tried to teach me how to do like pole dancing and I couldn't remember any more than like one instruction at a time.
It was quite bizarre.
I forgot how to walk. Some people, I think you either have it or you don't. Jay's got it. We clearly don't have that.
I was for one morning trained by a pole dancer.
I didn't know this. You've kept this one quiet.
Kept it for the pod.
My whole life's been leading up to this.
Trophies, pole dancing.
In the early 2002, I was part of BBC Scotland series, which involved myself, Craig Hill, Jim Muir, and a couple of people who just career went nowhere. Miles Jupp and Frankie Boyle. There's three of us, Miles and Frankie.
Is this the live floor show?
Yeah, the first TV that Miles and Frankie did. I mean, so the past 20 years has been better to them than it has to the other three of us.
Well, they're not the Strathmore Water
they weren't, no.
trophy winners.
Anyway, the opening credits were filmed in a pole dancing bar in Mitchell Street. Definitely a back street place. Oh, it's really, really sleazy. I mean, it was like cheap and sleazy.
That's what it was called, the pole dance.
Could it be? I can't. What was it called?
I'm trying to think of pole dancing. So there was Truffles, there was Diamond Dolls.
Oh, I think it might be Diamond Dolls. Yeah, it was Diamond Dolls. And we were filmed dancing on the pole. And from the stage, you could see this internal metal staircase that led upstairs, which led to the toilets. And it wasn't a signwriter that had done it. It was just someone who had freehand painted with a can of gloss, toilets, arrow. And I always wondered what the dancer must feel like when all she can see is
toilet.
A really badly painted sign to the toilets.
I love that, like, what brings me joy, sorry to, interrupt asking you what brings you joy, but this, you know when you see, like, signs for cafes and it's, like, roll and sausage, roll and square, macaroni cheese, and it's like on, like, a whiteboard with, like, marker pen and it's someone's own handwriting. That brings me so much joy. Or, like, at the Barras, like, the food place there, everything's on those, like, stars, you know, the cardboard star, and it's, like, with permanent marker and it's, like, all hand-drawn.
Yeah,
because you don't get that with chain restaurants or anything.
Or with little grocer's shops where they've handwritten their
That's
prices.
one of the things that I love about the Stand Comedy Club is that they still have the chalkboards outside.
Yeah.
And I still get a buzz from seeing my name in chalk.
I took a picture picture of it the other day because it was raining. I was like, guys, before you take this outside, I need to take a picture for my Instagram. I need to put this analog piece of art on my digital social media platform.
There used to be, years ago, the stand, there was a member of the staff who was good at drawing cartoons, and they used to draw cartoons on their shifts, so that like you might not even just get your name, but you might get a little cartoon of you. And they used to always work a Saturday night, so they would always do Stu and Gary, who had the Sunday for their Sunday show, and I always loved that. And when that member of staff moved on, I always like really missed the little cartoons on the chalkboard.
I've had a couple of people drawing pictures of me at gigs.
Yes,
We wondered what this guy was. At first we thought he was a reviewer.
yeah.
And then he started getting like, started like scribbling away.
I've had quite a few drawings done of me. There's a guy, this is terrible, I have forgotten his name, I'm going to have a little look it up, who does lots and lots of drawing. Chris Whitehead, yes, Chris Whitehead. So I've got one that he drew of me. I've also got one that is up in my wee boy's playroom, which somebody had done when I did my fringe show Bism, and I used to explain about I used to have a joke about explaining what a Bism was, and it had a wee granny in the joke, and one of the members of staff at Blackfriars Bar, where I'd done a preview for it, drew this little granny that like from the joke that I did about what the little granny looked like, and it said, "You're a real wee bism, so you are," and I framed that, and it's in my playroom at home. Because I really love it when people do. There's another girl who draws comedians on cards.
Yeah, I've seen that person.
And then there's another person who does cross stitches comedians.
Okay.
There's Christine.
Christine knits.
Yeah.
I don't know if she knits comedians, but she certainly knits for us.
From the theme of the show
For the
she's
theme
watching.
of the yeah.
I love people like this. Like this is, I like that everything we've talked about is the kind of, it's the little small cute things that people do for other people in comedy, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not the same stuff as being like, I don't know, it's not to do with the career opportunity side, it's the humanity side. It's the
I think what's heartwarming about it is it's just the right side of psychotic. It was just a bit more. This person's weird.
It's because there used to be a guy who would bring baked goods to gigs, and I'd be like, "Thanks very much. I'm not eating this."
Yeah.
But like when people bring you food, that's like, or bring female comedians food.
Oh my God, that
I'm always
happens
like,
to me.
This has got something in it, I'm sure.
That's happened to me, but then I think because I'd actually given this audience member a snack when we were in the queue for going to see another show, and he was like, "Oh, you're Amelia Bayler," and I was like, "Do you want a Frosties bar?" Because I had some in my bag. And then he brought me snacks to Musical Comedy Awards.
Well, snacks are okay if it's something that is like
A lasagna is
sealed.
not okay.
Yeah. No, it was baked home goods, like a tray bake.
And you're like,
and you're going, has this got your pubes inside it?
You're thinking pubes, I'm thinking drugs as well.
It could be both.
Could be both, yeah. Could be both.
A fun night in.
So us dancing gives you joy. What else gives you joy?
Well, and this always surprises people who don't know that I do it, is I, for a number of years, almost all my adult life, been a runner.
Yeah.
Which is, I love getting out in there's something about the endorphin high you get when you just...
Because I always remember you telling me like years and years and years ago that you first started running. It was like a mental health thing, but it was before that was known. Like it was before you've been running since before it was like cool for your mental health to run.
That's right, and I didn't know it when I started. I started because I was just like physically out of shape, and then thinking back, I did suffer quite badly from depression, but I didn't realise until that. I mean, that wasn't why I started running, but it was all part and parcel of the whole thing. And it is massively good for your mental health. And in fact, that's one thing I really enjoyed about that holiday I was just talking about. Not the one in Speed Bridge. That's another thing that happened to that holiday. I was out running through this gap, and there's no law of trespass in Scotland, and this farmer set his dogs on me.
Oh my God. This is, I thought you were going to say
Never go to Spainbridge. That is the one thing you must take away.
I thought you were going to say I was out running, and then the next thing, the mother of the deer that I killed just started chasing me.
Well, at least they'd have had a motive.
Yeah, they would have had a motive.
No, when we go to Mallorca, it's a wonderful, wonderful route. You run up a kind of cliffside road that goes all the way up to a lighthouse at the top of the cliff, and it's incredibly steep. And it's really hard work getting up there. But the joy you feel coming down is just phenomenal, because you're getting this spectacular view at the same time as, getting this wonderful rush. And in fact, I was doing that, which actually turned out to be quite good training for this run I did last weekend. I was taking part in, it wasn't the Edinburgh Marathon, but they have the whole weekend of events, and I was doing the 5K, which is shorter than I normally do, but it was at 11 o'clock in the morning, and that was the clincher. Because I could have done the 10K at 9.
You were like, no.
Well, I was getting until 1 o'clock in the morning, so I thought, 11 o'clock will do. And I got within about 50 yards. And it's, again, a beautiful circuit. You go round off the seat. So you're going up a steep... It's very similar to my run in Mallorca. You're going up a steep hill gradually and then coming down the other side of it. And so, it's right from the top of Arthurseat to Holyrood Park, all the way down to the finish line, which is just behind the Parliament. And I got, I think, about 50 yards from the finish line when I tripped and fell very heavily on my left knee and my right forearm.
Oh, and you're sitting here all bandaged up.
Oh, God, you should have seen me on Saturday. But it was still a very joyful experience. No, I quite enjoyed it. Because
did somebody pick you up so you could get over the finish line?
Well, I got over the line, yeah. Oh. I mean, I was going to run. If it had happened halfway round, I'd have run. And I've tripped and fallen when I've been running in the park and things like that, especially at night. Mm-hmm. And I've just run home. Whereas this, I was 50 yards from the finish. I'm just going to walk it. 'Cause I really didn't know how badly injured I was.
Yeah.
And if it had been at home, I'd have treated it myself and all that. But because you're taking part in this big event, they've got a first aid crew, and I think they're all kind of covering their own backs in terms of insurance and stuff. So you get taken away and have to sit in this stretcher as they're putting bandages on me, and then they start. And of course, I'm laughing. I'm treating the whole thing as a bit of a joke, which makes them think I'm in shock.
Oh no! You're like, I'm not in shock. I'm just a comedian.
Yeah. Well, also, there was a friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, who was a volunteer at the finish line, Lauren Keating. Mm-hmm. And so Lauren, they got Lauren to bring me a bottle of water for my shock. And I said, well, I'm fine. And then, of course, they asked me my age. And, of course, once you do that and you're over 60, that's another wormhole you're getting into.
Oh, no.
What's your date of birth? Well...
This one that makes me the age that I am.
I honestly thought it was some kind of reality orientation they were doing with me. The next thing they were going to ask me is who the Prime Minister is. It's not an easy answer.
It's not definitely right now, but I don't know.
They said, how are you getting home? Are you on any medication? I said, well, alcohol quite a lot. And then once they realised I was taking the piss, they were actually all right. They started joking with me. And then their supervisor came over and said, well, we're glad you're all right. And you've got really cool hair, by the way. I said, well, thank you very much. It's good to know the important shit's not been ruined.
So you don't know this, but the photo that you sent me for that, which we'll share with the viewers on our Instagram and TikToks. So you sent me a little photograph of you sitting on the seat. I'd actually seen that photograph.
Lauren posted it.
No, Lauren hadn't, because Lauren would never do anything like that. But Lauren happens to be married to somebody without those morals.
All right.
So in our little shambles chat group, Liam Withnail, friend of the pod, put up, Lauren is volunteering at the marathon today and the 5K run, and somebody just took a real fall. So of course I was like, oh no, because I thought he was going to be like, oh, and she's had to go to hospital with them. And he was like, It's a comedian who's fallen. I'll give 10 points to the person who can say who it was, and all of the people in the chat at the same time went, Vlad.
Yeah.
And then he posted a little picture, and I was like, oh.
Well, he sent me the little picture.
Did he send you?
Because I'm in a comedians running chat group.
Chat group, yeah. Yeah, because there's lots of comedians that run.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the boys, not as many of the
I
girls.
used to see you running in Inverleith Park because I used to run in Inverleith Park in lockdown because the gyms were closed, and it really did help with my mental health.
Yeah, well, it does. Oh, especially during lockdown.
Yeah, I did it a lot in lockdown.
That's
I've
right.
not done
Yeah,
it
I
since
saw you
then.
a few times. Yeah, I forgot that.
I used to, believe it or not, I used to actually be committed to running.
I did believe it.
It's mad, like when you get out the habit of it, and then you're like, then you just become, I don't know, I'm scared. And then I'm like, I could just start with 3K maybe. Do you know what I mean? And just because
You got quite into running again when we did the run-in for the sober highs.
And then I've just been shit. But I think with exercise, the problem that makes me not commit to it is when I aim too high, or you aim for what your fitness level was like when you were really into it. So,
well, and I'm like that with running now. I'm not bothered about what, if I'm doing an event, I'm really not bothered about what time I do, because, I'm never going to do what I did in my 30s.
Yeah, but you're still running.
I'm still doing it. I'm still crossing the finishing line.
Does it help you with gigs
Dripping
and
with
stuff?
blood. One picture I haven't seen, because when you're doing all these big events, they've got photographers all around the coast taking these snaps that end up in the newspapers. If you've paid to enter the event, they usually email you a whole load of pictures, and they try to sell you. There was one of those guys right at the finish line, and I just, the way when footballers sometimes go up to the TV camera and stick their face right in it after they've scored? I was doing the same with my knee.
Look at my knee.
Pointed at my knee and stuck it right in the lens.
Oh, you would get on so well. So today I stayed at it was like at my wee boy's nursery play and stay, or stay and play for like half an hour, 40 minutes, and it was so I had signed up to go to the play and stay, and I literally spent 10 minutes with various little boys showing me their skint knees to tell, so that I could see whose skint knee looked the most gnarly. And they were like, but look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. And they don't know your name, so they call you your child's mum.
Yeah, this is your mum.
So yeah, they're just all like, oh, it was so funny. So it was really, really cute. But yeah, I could bring you down and you could be like, look at this knee. Oh, I love it. And any other things that bring you joy?
I suppose I have to say my family, don't I? It's like when you accept an award, the people you have to thank.
I once forgot my husband when I was thanking.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, at the Scottish Comedy Awards, and what made it even worse is that Susie so basically what happened was I won an award at the Scottish Comedy Awards. I got up, I was pregnant, so I had baby brain, and the whole time I've been saying to my husband, I better remember to say this person, like if I do win, like I better remember to say this person. And he was like, yeah. And I got up and I did like the whole thing, and I started like thanking other people that, you just, when you're like panicking. And then I finished and I was like, thanks very much. And then got down, and as I was walking towards him, I realised that, because he just looked at me like, thanks.
What I would take away from that is, for a fact, if it happened the other way around, he'd have forgotten. He can forget quite easily.
He does forget quite easily, but then he did really put the book in by saying, and I dedicated my book to you. And it's like when he had his first ever play published, in the front it is dedicated to me. So I have like
this is just giving cute power couple vibes though, Jay. This whole story is like really cute.
Was that the bench?
The bench, yeah.
Right.
Okay, cute
Where
vibes
I
though.
fell off stage.
You did fall off stage. You do fall a lot, Paul. You do fall.
And what happened when you fell off stage?
It was the most dramatic part of the play, where I had to hit Jay's husband, who also wrote the play. He was also acting in it.
It's very
and
cool.
I had to hit him with a placard.
That's right.
And I just
You just went for it.
Just went for it a bit
He'd been
too
really
much.
annoying you. It was about halfway through the French.
He's unwind at that point.
What worried me at first was I landed on my back. which isn't a bad thing
Yeah, it
to
was
do.
such a dramatic, because I was doing the tech and it was such a dramatic fall, like where I turned to so I was doing the sound and the other guy was doing the lights, and I turned to the guy doing the lights and went, call an ambulance, because it was so dramatic, the fall from the stage.
And the fact I hit my back.
And you hit your back, but you came down so hard, everybody in the audience went,
And eventually I said, well, I think we've got away with this.
yeah. He just got total pro, didn't break character, stayed in his character. It was amazing.
This conversation is just giving, you guys are all multi-talented, like all of you. Do you know what I mean? You're like, I was doing the tech, you're like, I was acting, and then I'm like, whoa, you guys are multi-talented.
And see, another thing that brings me joy is, and it's really unexpected, I do voluntary work on a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, it's years ago. I wanted to volunteer, because having done stand-up for years, you're kind of aware of the fact that what you do is not that important, is it? You know, it's not a life or death business. Yeah. And I'd always wanted to do something, give something back to, local community or whatever. And I did a number of benefits for food banks. And I thought, I'd quite like to volunteer in a food bank. And one of the benefits, I asked one of the people organising it, how do I volunteer? And they sent me an email, gave me the guy's email address. I emailed him, never heard back. And so I went down to the food bank in Leith, just behind Lidl in Leith, and asked someone behind the counter who was obviously a volunteer, how do you volunteer here? And he said, I don't know. And then, several years ago now, I was walking past my local cancer research shop, and they had a big sign up in the window. It said, give us your donation of time. And I thought, well, they're making it easy. So I've been doing that for, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
And it's great fun, and it's actually not that different from being on stage. I mean, and I always kind of push the envelope as far as I can with kind of customers, what I can get away with. Because I think it is quite good to be kind of just have an interface with people who aren't involved in comedy and maybe never come to the show. Although I do get quite a lot of people coming into the shop who've seen me on stage. Early doors when I was there, we had this mood board. And on the mood board, you had to say why I am volunteering.
What did you say, Vlad?
People say, I am giving something back to my local community. I am helping find a cure for cancer. I am learning new skills and meeting new people. I am not swearing for 3 hours a week. Now and again, it gets quite difficult. But you can't really swear in the charity. Well, you could in some, but
if it was Tourette's charity, you'd be
more
fine.
Tourette's charity. Well, I was thinking geographical location more than anything. If it's Great Junction Street, you'd be all right. Wouldn't you? This is Stockbridge, Rayburn Place in Stockbridge. Now, I'm guessing a lot of the listeners to this podcast may be unfamiliar with the geography of Edinburgh. Stockbridge begins at the north side of the new town and ends right up its own arsehole. Right, see, I'm not allowed to swear. Well, nobody would, but I'm self-censoring myself for 3 hours a week. Customers, particularly customers who know me,
yes,
aren't. In particular, he's known to all three of us, but he's been known to virtually all the listeners to this. Our friend, the Canadian comedian Tom Stade.
Oh, yeah, Tom Stade.
Now, Tom used to stay around the corner from my shop, and he was out with his wife, Trudy. If anyone listening doesn't know Tom, two things you have to know about Tom is he's very loud and has no filter.
He is the loudest man I've ever met.
Yeah, but he's got no filter. He'll say what comes into his head.
Yeah.
And so he came in. What the fuck are you doing? Hey, look at this tree! Look who's behind the counter! Curing fucking cancer. Stupid cunt. This is a charity shop in Stockbridge.
I've done.
People just. Those people who were there are the very people who haven't a clue who Tom Sneddon is. They just like, where's this really rude tourist? Come with the volunteer behind the counter, a stupid cunt.
He's so loud. To give listeners an understanding of how loud Tom is that I've stayed in a hotel where Tom was 4 floors below me, and I knew it was there. He wasn't in the same. We weren't doing the same gig together.
Oh, weren't you?
No, we weren't doing the same gig together. But I was lying in bed, and I was like, I can hear Tom State. And then I met him down in the breakfast, and it was fucking Tom in the same hotel, and I was like, what floor are you on? He was on like 4-4 and I was on floor 8. And I was like, I heard you last night.
Yeah, they had to move from Stockbridge, I think, or from Glenagle. They had to move from one place we're in because the neighbours were complaining about the noise.
It's just Tom talking at a normal level.
It's Tom talking. Imagine, because neighbours complaining, that's one step down from getting an ASBO. For talking.
For talking just at the level you always talk at. It's so funny. Right, I need to get on to the next part of the show. Jay's Joy Killers! Jay's Joy Killers! Jay's Joy Killers! Jay's Joy Killers! Woo! This is the part of the show where we ask you what kills your joy, and we've had big things, we've had little things. So, Vlad, what kills your joy?
Yeah, I'm pretty difficult to piss off.
You are.
Yeah. Little things can really piss me off. Do you know what really gets me? You know, if you're at a self-service till,
Yeah.
and the person in front of you puts all their shopping in the bagging area,
Yeah.
but not in a bag, then pays for it,
Yeah.
then puts it into a bag. It takes ages to put all the shopping into a bag they could have put in the bagging area.
You don't like the rucksack decanters?
Oh, I actually saw someone do it yesterday with a bag for life.
Why didn't they just put it on the scale?
Yeah. I suppose, or this guy had a rucksack and a bicycle. He could have wheeled his bicycle away. But I know he stood at the bagging area doing all this.
Wow.
That
There's a lot of self-service joy killing. I don't like self-service checkouts because, well, first of all, I think that they have just like totally eradicated a job. So that's like one of the reasons I've never liked them. For years, actually, my dad, who you know very well, the bold Billy, was like, I'm not using them. That's taking away a wee woman's job, because he's a misogynist, right? He doesn't believe that men can serve on the self-check. But he get really annoyed. Now he does use them, and now he gets really annoyed by...
women complaining, well, you've taken my job!
But, like, my main issue with them is, like, when it doesn't recognise something, and then it brings up the red light, and then you have to wait for the one person who has retained their job to make it their way round to you from all like the other people who are buying alcohol or 2 packs of paracetamol or alcohol and paracetamol, which is a red flag. And that's the other thing that annoys me is like you used to be able to buy your stuff without judgment. Do you know? Like, people would be like, beep, 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 into the bag, no comment. And now in the self-service, you know, you've got to justify why you're buying 2 packets of paracetamol and a bottle of vodka. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's stressful. You know what stressed me out with self-service is when you've got your club card and you're trying to scan your club card and your heart is beating so fast. Come on! And then it goes, club card accepted and you can relax. I don't know why, but that always has really stressed me out just now. Because loads of time it doesn't scan. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm always late. Come on. I'm trying to buy a meal deal. I'm on my way to work. Club card accepted.
I had to buy more bandages yesterday and dressings.
Yes. For your sore arms.
Yeah. And actually, this is quite a joyful story now I think about it. God, it is. It's I thought it's about self-checkout,
Yeah,
but I've just
yeah.
realised it's a joyful story. So
That's all right. We'll allow it.
You actually started the pod by talking about your nightmare holiday, so maybe we're just doing it the wrong way round.
Right, that's true. I got a whole load of wound dressings and stretch bandages.
Yeah.
And then when it came to pay for them on the self-checkout in Boots, I had enough points to buy them. I got free stuff.
Free stuff.
Yep.
On your
We
Boots
love
card.
free stuff. We love free stuff. That's
love
a little
free stuff.
extra jingle.
Yeah.
Free stuff is great. I love it when you get free stuff. I'm always accidentally getting free stuff when I scan my shopping at Asda.
You're putting through mints as an apple and stuff like that. I see your game here.
Oh, well, I mean, it has happened accidentally. Once I feel I probably should stop there so I don't get prosecuted. But
Baby brain. It was during the baby brain
baby
era,
brain
yeah.
time. But yeah, no. The other thing that really annoys me with the self-service checkout things is they're very like, you can go here for a basket, but you go here for a trolley.
Oh, those ones,
You go here for self-scan. But then, so they keep it very separate, except for when they've not got enough stuff or can't be arsed, when they let you do whatever you want in the basket area. And I just get very annoyed by that.
Well, within reason.
Yeah. Whatever you want. Within reason.
Shit yourself.
That's not a big problem for me currently. Shooting myself in.
I don't like the ones with the camera.
Yes,
We were
we were just
talking
said
about this,
that
yeah.
with them. We were chatting before you came along with Larry about the camera angles. So producer Ross, you like the ones in the Co-op, but you don't like the ones in Sainsbury's. Was that what you were saying?
The Co-op ones are high up. Sainsbury's, they're like level with your face. I was like,
I get distracted when I want to take like a selfie. When I see the cameras, I'm like, oh, my makeup looks good today.
I have
try and
never
take a
once
picture.
seen those and thought I looked good.
But yeah.
Why do you not like the cameras?
Because, I think, God, oh, mine are dreadful. Then I thought, oh, yeah, but I'm in Boots.
With an injured arm.
I'm here because I'm not well.
Have you got any joy killers this week?
Oh yeah. It's also to do with shopping. So when you get like an Asda delivery and then you get like substitutions if they don't have, and you're like, so the other day, guys, they forgot my croutons. So, but then it's like, when they try and substitute stuff, so I'll be like, we don't have your croutons, have this full baguette. I'm like, no, that's not the same thing. I'm not going to put a full baguette on my Caesar salad,
It's almost
okay?
saying, here's
Do
a
it
full
yourself.
baguette, make it yourself, you
But at
lazy
least
bastard. You're lazy enough not to do your own shopping.
That one
Make your own
makes
croutons.
sense. Do you know, like I sometimes think the people that they get to do the substitutes in Asda are clearly mentally ill.
So
Yeah.
what have you had? What's been like the worst
But it's
substitution?
stuff like, so you go, like, so I'll tell you one of the ones that's happened more than once where I've ordered cat litter, right? So I've ordered cat litter because
toilet
I've
roll.
got cats. No, I could see the logic in that.
Yeah.
I could see the logic in that, all right? Because I like, just wipe your cat's bum with this toilet roll. No, I'd ordered cat litter and they went, we didn't have the cat litter. We've substituted it with pedigree chum dog food. I'm like,
What?
yes.
Different
It's
animal,
a different animal, different part of the body.
function.
Again, I can see the logic in cat food.
Yes.
You've got a cat. Here's
Here's some cat food. No, dog food.
yeah.
Absolutely mental. And another one, I'm trying to think, I've had a few really mental ones before. Oh, so I was having a party and I thought, oh, I'll do some Caesar salads, right? So I ordered romaine lettuce, because that, if you're doing a classic Caesar, it's a romaine lettuce leaf, right?
You remind me of a very old joke. Well, a joke from 8 years ago.
What's the joke?
About salad during the European referendum.
Oh, yeah.
You could either have romaine or leaf.
Still works. So I'd ordered romaine lettuce, right? And then they were like, so they didn't have romaine lettuce. So you would think any other type of lettuce. No, they gave me a cabbage.
Completely different beast.
It's not even the same thing. You can't even
Same
make
colour.
this.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
I actually used to work for Sainsbury's.
Did you?
And people would call me up in like call centre, like when I was at uni. And people would call me up though, and they would get annoyed when the substitutions were like fair enough. I remember a guy, first phone call must have been at 7 a.m. and I answered the phone. I hated this job. 20-minute rant from a guy because Sainsbury's gave him like tropical mango Tropicana rather than original Tropicana, and I was like, I can see the other side when I'm like on the side of the supermarket. Do you know what I mean? I was like, please, it's literally the same thing.
Fair enough if it's, you know, but if it's dog food instead of cat litter, I was just like, what was this person doing? That's
we
mad.
actually had to say stuff about dates that was like just a blatant lie. We had to be like, yeah, like, people be like, I'm just calling up because I've got this bread in my order today and it's actually only got 2 days on the date. And then we would have to lie and be like, that's actually perfectly normal date range for that product. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'd be like, sorry, I can't help you. And I would feel so bad because I was like, I know this is bullshit, I'm sorry.
That's why I know this is really boring for the listeners, but that is actually why I stopped doing home deliveries, was because the dates were so bad. I was just like, I'm just going to go to Asda's myself.
Yeah, I've never bothered with them.
Yeah,
But even during lockdown.
Did you go in during lockdown? I started to go in during
it was a bit of a
lockdown because
treat,
it was a
wasn't it?
treat, and it was a day out, and I would take my wee one with me because I would be like, oh, at least it's somewhere to take him where other people will see him, like, because I tried so long to have him and then nobody got to meet him.
You're like hoping to bump into people to show
you
off your
did. You would
child.
hope to bump into people and I'd be like, look, I have had a baby. I tell you what, my joy killer is this week.
Is it supermarket based?
No, but it's in the same vein, right? It's the adulting, and you've got to adult, right? And I grew up in my mum's a neat freak. I grew up in this like really clean house, and I keep my house nice, right? I keep my house nice. But the things that like when you were growing up and you were like, oh, I can't wait till I'm an adult, can't wait till I've got my own house, I can't wait, all that sort of thing. There's things that I feel like missold. Missold adulthood as this like fun vibe, because I was down on my knees the other day cleaning my skirting, and I was going, how often are you meant to clean skirting? You don't realise how dirty the skirting gets.
Oh God, aye.
And then I tried to bribe my 4-year-old child because I'm like, he's a lot closer to the skirting than I am. And he was just like, nah. And then I was also trying to say to him, well, this is a life lesson, because if you start cleaning skirting at the age of 4, then when you're 42, it's not such a shock to the system that you actually have to clean skirting.
Yeah.
When was the last time you cleaned your skirting?
Do you know, that's funny. When I was in like a bit of a manic mood and I was like throwing stuff out and clearing my cupboards, I also managed to use that manic energy to clean. I have skirting in my bathroom for some reason. It was dusty and I cleaned that. But I don't know if I've got skirting in other... you can hoover it.
I know, but it needed a scrub.
Proper, yeah.
Needed a scrub.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what we've got.
Oh, what have you got?
Christine loves it. Because she's a big fan of housework.
Yeah.
She does enjoy her housework.
Enjoys it.
Well, she seems to, yeah.
What has she got? Tell us about the
Got
tool.
this thing, it's like a huge big electric toothbrush.
For cleaning skirtings.
You could do it for cleaning skirting, cleaning...
See, that makes cleaning fun.
Yeah, cleaning the top of the cooker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a
She's
big
got two though.
electric
She's got a big one and a smaller one.
Right, I'm going to need to text her, find out where she got those. I used to love the Betterware catalogue for stuff like that, but they
I
don't
think
have
it
that
might be
anymore.
B&M home stores.
Oh yeah, I can't go in there though. I will spend too much money on shit.
Right. See, I
can't.
I had the B&M home stores recommended to me. Oh, this is wonderful. I love it when people do this. Recommended to me by a woman in the Apple store who worked for the Apple store. I thought it was wonderful lack of corporate.
No corporate bullshittery there.
Absolutely. She was an older, well, kind of middle-aged, not like the geniuses.
Like Rick Carranza.
Well, actually, they are geniuses. Man, imagine managing to sell a plug for 50 quid. It's genius, isn't it? No, I wanted a bracket for my iPhone so I could use my maps.
Yeah.
Because after my sat-nav packed in, I was using my maps on my phone, and my phone kept on falling off the dashboard, so I must get a bracket for this. So I went to the Apple store, it's about 150 quid.
For a bracket? Oh, that's insane. As soon as they put that Apple logo on it.
It was definitely about 100 quid. And the woman in the shop said, just got B&M home stores, I go in there for £5.
Yeah.
And it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that. That was a joyful thing that she put.
Yeah, that's a joyful
in.
thing. A nice person.
A nice person.
Yeah, who isn't trotting the company line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's like, you can't spend 100. No.
But we're running out of time because we've loved all your stories, so we've only got the time for one joyful content. And Vlad, you have sent us a little bit of joyful content in. I'm just gonna set the computer up to show you a bit of joyful content. Do you want to talk us through?
Yeah, I don't know what made me think about this yesterday. One of the guys who wrote the songs for Mary Poppins died. And
Bangers, absolutely.
It's so
joyful.
So joyful.
Just a spoonful of sugar.
And one of the guys who wrote the songs of Mary Poppins died, and it had a picture in his obituary in The Guardian of him and his brother. They both wrote them together with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. And I thought, God, I wonder if Dick Van Dyke's still alive. And I Googled him, and he is.
Yeah.
And he's 98. And he's still working.
Yeah, because he did Mary Poppins, the remakes.
Oh, of course he did, yeah.
He did the remakes, and he's also in one of my wee boy's absolutely favourite movies. He's in, I think, quite a few of them, not in all of them, but at least into Night at the Museum.
Oh, yeah.
He's in those as well. But in Mary Poppins, he dances. In the remake of the new Mary Poppins, he properly tap dances.
He goes to the gym 3 days a week. 98. There's a real long interview with him. And one of the things the story he reveals, he was actually, Cubby Broccoli phoned him up when Sean Connery left James Bond. Cubby Broccoli phoned him up and asked him to be James Bond, and he turned it down. He said, "Why are you turning it down?" He said, "Well, have you heard my British accent?"
I love Mary Poppins. I does what I likes. I likes what I do. The songs are so unbelievably catchy, though.
They are such good songs.
I always felt really sad by the Feed the Birds bit. Do you remember that? Feed the Birds. It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That one is sad.
Whenever I see pigeons, I think
because it'd be a couple of quid a bag now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I know, it would definitely not be tuppence.
Some of the songs are timeless.
Look, we'll play a little bit of it.
Unless, of course, you've ordered the bird seed from Asda Home Delivery.
We'll be getting cat litter.
Right, hold on, let's play a little bit of Dick Van Dyke
singing.
Right in front of us, this happened.
Do I? So you think you'd be trouble? Well, trouble.
He started singing again, and the weight of nearly 100 years fell away. And Dick Van Dyke was what he's always been. A happy kid.
When you find the joy of living, is loving and giving.
He said, when you find the joy of living, it's loving and giving.
Smile. It's just a frown turned upside down, and smiling that way would be wrong. And don't forget to keep your fingers crossed. Boom, boom.
That was a nice little message, though, because we were talking about the giving and things. Yeah, that was Todd.
I just thought, I'm doing the show about having done stand-up for 30 years. The idea I'd be doing it in another 30 years' time has always just been a complete, not possible. But looking at that, God, I could.
You could be. I know. I mean, you run.
Yeah.
He goes to the gym 3 days a week. And the thing is, as well, like, listeners will, like, pop up a little link in the bio to because it's too big to put on socials because it's quite a long interview. But he does look like a child when he sings. Like, his face totally lights up.
Yeah.
And you're going, oh, that's you just doing what you've loved doing since you were a baby, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Would you still, like, because I quite often play about with the idea of going, oh, I don't know if I still want to be doing what I'm doing now when I'm in my 50s and my 60s. And then I'll look at, you know, you or like Joe Caulfield, you know, lots of other comics, Fred Macaulay, and I'm like, well, why would I not keep doing it? Like, why would I not keep doing it? Do you want to still be doing stand-up when you're in your 90s?
I think it's a moot point because I don't think I'll get to my 90s, but I can't think why not. I mean, Barry Cryer never retired.
No. How old was Barry Cryer when he died? 86.
And apparently he was still telling jokes when he was in hospital. His last ever joke. I've been gigging with a friend of his, Peter Graham, who runs the King's Head in Crouch End, and he's a good friend of Barry. And this is just the weekend before he died. He said, he's not well, but he's still telling jokes. And I said, he was telling me this joke about this married couple at a bus stop, and they see this guy over the road, and they say, "Is that the Archbishop of Canterbury?" Wife asks her husband, and the husband says, "I don't know. Could be." Said, "Why didn't you go and ask him?" Right. So the husband crosses the road, turns to this guy, "Are you the Archbishop of Canterbury? My wife would like to know." He said, and the guy says, "Fuck off." The husband goes back over the road, and his wife says, "So, what was it, the Archbishop of Canterbury?" He says, "Don't know. He told me to fuck off." So, no, we'll never know. And apparently, he was telling that joke to the nurses when he was in hospital.
Wow.
It was in. I read this obituary of him, and it actually had the joke in his obituary.
I wonder how the Archbishop of Canterbury felt. Thank you again, Vlad.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I've loved it.
And we'll speak to you guys soon.
See you next week.
Bye.